the Leigh Leopards won. It's not football, but it's far more entertaining, isn't it? Oh, it had everything. Let's get ready to rumble. There was flamethrowers. The floodlights were on. The pitch looked magnificent, but not as magnificent as the gladiators that took the field. Super League is back. What a way to kick it off. And in the sheds, he's back for a whole new season. Oh, yes. Congratulations to all of the people that took part in that one last night for our entertainment. Anybody, and I mean anybody, who is out there today trying to find a negative narrative to report on with regards to this game, give your heads a wobble. This was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And you know what? There'll be a few Wigan Warriors fans, oh, it was a terrible game. No, it wasn't. It was an incredible game. As a neutral, let me tell you, I mean, you must have been on the edge of your seats. That's what you go and pay your ticket money for, to be entertained. As the great Russell Crowe once said, are you not entertained? Unbelievable. In the words of the great Mr. Ronnie Barker, this was fabulous, Granville. Oh, yes, it was wonderful, wonderful stuff indeed. And of course, it was built on defence on both sides. Defence wins games, and both Matt Peat, who I thought was gracious in defeat, yet again, quality, Mr. Peat, we salute you. You know, but both Matt Peat and Adrian Lamb will be delighted with the defensive efforts of their team, because that stands them in great stead when silverware is being given out in the summer and in the autumn. I mean, look, bottom line is, let's just go there. Not since Rocky Balboa in a meat factory have we seen beef tenderized like we were seeing last night. Unbelievable stuff. Talk about succulence. Incredible. Edwin Pappy leading the charge. I mean, Jack Field, how's your ribs this morning? I think all they're going to need is a bit of barbecue sauce. Unbelievable stuff from Edwin Ipape in this one. Oh. Anyway, let's get into some detail around this defence, shall we? Tackle efficiency, the Wigan Warriors, 91.4% tackle efficiency on the night. Beautiful stuff from them. Leigh, 88.4%. I mean, you know, incredible stuff that as a team effort. But within that statistic are players who really did shine on the night. We'll start with the Wigan Warriors. Luke Thompson. We'll start with Luke Thompson. 57 tackles, 96.6% tackle efficiency. Incredible. Liam Fowler did 47, 95.9% efficiency. You know, there's a lot of people saying Liam Fowler shouldn't be sent off because it should have been a penalty to Wigan, but you lost your captain's challenge. That's the bottom line. And I'm sorry, but as captain, petulance, I mean, it's one of those things. What can you do? What can you do? And I thought Adam Kieran was lucky and all, only to get a yellow. That's going to be interesting to see what the match review panel think about that one. Swinging arm to the head. Very, very, I mean, mitigation. Woof, I'll tell you. So again, Wigan Warrior fans, before you start trying to blame Liam Moore, who actually, if you could give a man of the match award to a referee, it would be Liam Moore. Liam Moore last night, if that's the standard of officiating that we're going to see this year, we're in for a treat. He let the game flow. I thought he was absolutely superb. I will not have a bad word said about Liam Moore in this one. You know, we're too quick to judge and jump on the back of our referees. The bottom line is that was an exception. Probably, I would say, probably one of his top 5 performances he's ever had as a match official. I'd go as far and say that. I'd be interested to know what his thoughts are on that. But Liam, mate, outstanding. Many, many congratulations. You played your part in making sure we had a spectacle to remember in round number 1 of the 2025 Betfred Super League. Cade Ellis, 49 tackles, 94% efficiency. Cruz Lehman, he got 47, 94% efficiency. And then for the Leigh Leopards, Robbie Mulhern, first game of the season, 41 tackles, 93.1. Frankie Holton, their top tackler in 2024, he got 40 tackles for 93% efficiency. And debutant Ethan O'Neill. You know, we've been talking about this lad over the pre-season. This, for me, could be one of the signings of the season, and very, very easy to spot with his hair colouring, of course. 41 tackles from him, 92.2% efficiency. That's what wins games, folks. That's what wins games. Some outstanding, I mean outstanding defence on show. Some brutal defence on show as well. I say, what can you say? Oh, what a game. What a game. Incredible stuff. Let's talk now about these debutants for the Leigh Leopards. David Armstrong, again, a lot of pressure put on this young man's shoulders. You know, he's going to the home of the quadruple winners, the history makers, the Wigan Warriors, you know, 20,000 plus in the stands. I mean, you know, a lesser man will be quaking in his boots, but you've got to give Armstrong his due. You know, really, really assured on the high ball, made some brilliant meters out of backfield, 165 of them, 24 carries on the night, 9 tackle busts. I mean, that sounds to me, and of course, he got a clean break in there as well. That sounds pretty good to me at the Wigan Warriors. No wonder the Leigh Leopards fans are really happy about him. What we saw in testing new yet again was his willingness again to do work out of backfield. 24 carries for 184 metres from him. I thought New had a good game. I thought he had a bit more pace. I think he's got a bit more in his tank than that. I thought looks maybe a bit tired, I don't know. But I thought he had a bit more pace than what I saw last night. But I thought, again, for a debut in Super League, you can't knock him. Leigh, assured, just assured. Didn't sparkle as much, perhaps, as Ethan O'Neill, Armstrong, and possibly New. But on the night, I thought he did pretty well for them. And we know look, the guy is quality, isn't he? Let's be absolutely honest about that. And he'll be happy with that. 34 tackles as well, indeed, from him. Tatavaki, I'm not sure. Again, jury out. He looks a bit better in this one. He looked a little bit better. I would have to say that. I thought he was reasonable in this game. I do still reserve judgment on him, but I think he played a really, really decent game. So, congratulations to him as well. All in all, I think the Leigh Leopards will be absolutely delighted, and rightly so. The Hoodoo off the bat, they're off and running against Wigan in Super League. They will be over the moon. I mean, Steph Sale, take a look at yourself in the mirror this morning, sir. 9th. Leigh finishing 9th. Nicola Burtonwood, she gives us a kiss every Tuesday on Weekly. That one's for you, Nicola. Punditry of the highest order from Nicola Burtonwood. She called it spot on. 1 to 8, she'll be prancing and a dancing to work today. I'm sure she will be over the moon. Wigan won't worry about this. It's the first game of the season. Matty P, gracious in defeat. He knows what he's got in his locker. He knows what's in that dressing room. There's no panic here. It's only game number 1. Let's just enjoy it for what it is. And of course, Wigan Warriors now will have a little bit more bite in them when they go and face Leigh in the next battle of the Borough. It adds a bit more spice to it now, doesn't it? The Hoodoo's off the back. The pressure may be now released. Maybe we're going to have even better battles of the Borough. And there's no doubt now it's one of the key fixtures in Super League. 20,000 plus at the Brick Community Stadium to see fare of the highest order. Gordon Ramsay couldn't produce a meal as good as this one in a Michelin star restaurant. I absolutely loved it, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you did too. One of the hardest games ever in the history of In the Sheds. And of course, we're back with the Super League trophy this year, our version of the Goldthorpe and the Man of Steel. We're back with that this year. The 3-2-1s, of course, are a part of that. One of the hardest 3-2-1s I've ever had to do, full stop. There's so many candidates that you could give it to. There wasn't really a bad performer on the field of play. I thought every single player to a man deserves our utmost respect, but we've got to give a 3-2-1. And, defenses were on top in this, so that probably shapes my thinking. You'll be surprised to know that debutant David Armstrong does not feature in my 3-2-1. He had a great game, but equally so did Jai Field. When you compare and contrast these two, there was only 3 tackle busts between them and about 10 metres. Very, very similar, albeit very impressive from Armstrong to do that on debut. No question whatsoever about that. I thought Jake Wardle had a good game. I mentioned that. Quiet was Bevan French. I would say about Bevan French. We've talked about Thompson, his tackling and what he got up to on the night. I thought he was very, very good indeed. Like I say, really, really tough. Lachlan Lamb, try saver. Didn't quite get the Hanley one. Didn't get the Hanley one on Sky. He played all right. Don't get me wrong, Jamal Hanley played as well as anybody else on the field. But I don't know what they were seeing there. I think there was other players on the field that perhaps deserved that a little bit more. Pleasing that Gareth O'Brien didn't get it because, yes, he slots over the kick, and of course that wins them the game. But come on, it's what's got you to that position. So I was pleased that they didn't go down that line. But yeah, Hanley, it's interesting. What's your thoughts on that, Jamal Hanley? Sky Sports Man of the Match. Interesting. Right, okay. Let's get into my 3-2-1. 1 point I'm going to give to Cade Ellis in defeat. Cade Ellis, for me, absolutely brilliant. 49 tackles indeed. He had 125 metres in the game for 19 carries. He really did have an assured game on both sides of the ball. So, Cade, you're getting a point in defeat. 2 points I'm going to give to last year's top tackler for 2024 Leigh Leopards, Frankie Holton. Yet again, both sides of the ball, simply superb. Yes, he's not Bevan French. Yes, he's not one of these players that people, wax lyrical about, but we at Super League Raw, we notice what great player people like Frankie Holton are and what they bring to their sides. Let me tell you now, in the dressing room, Frankie would have been getting lots of raps last night. 40 tackles in D, 20 carries for 140 metres. The man had a sensational game. Don't believe me? Go and watch it back. I will. It was that good. And the 3 points, I'm going to go there. I have to go there. It's Edwin. And I'll tell you now, while statistically, he might not match up to other people who were playing last night, and I get that. He might not. He was brilliant. This is a player who has had no pre-season. No pre-season. First knock of the season against Wigan Warriors at the Brick. And I don't know about you, but when he did something, you knew he'd done something. I mean, some pivotal moments in the game, big hits, great runs. His dummy runs last night really were damaging, getting Leigh right up the field of play. I thought Edwin Pappy, considering he had no minutes in his legs this season, quite simply, was outstanding. This is why this guy is probably everybody's shooing and favourite for the number 9 in the Dream Team. If he stays fit this year, he is that good. And Leigh Leopards will, of course, be wanting to keep him for the long term as well. Do you agree with my 3-2-1? Super League is back. In the Sheds is back. We're doing it all again tomorrow, Saturday, where we take a look at tonight's games, of course, which are coming up. The Catalan Dragons will be hosted Hull FC, and Hull KR hosted the Castleford Tigers. More great Rugby League football on the way. Don't forget to keep an eye on our new website, www.superleagueraw.com, for our match report on this game as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to bring you the first of the Sheds of 2025. I've got a long season ahead, but I love it. Come on!